So at the beginning of the year, stubs are always at a premium. Unfortunately, your stubs from 21 don't transfer over to 22. So you start at 0 and it takes a little bit to build that stub count up. But even if you don't have a lot of stubs, you can build a decent team from that 15 to 25k that you get for pre-ordering the game. That's what we're gonna do in this video. We are gonna go through, name all the budget beasts I think you should consider picking up for your team until more content starts to come out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, all that jazz. Hopping right into it. Let's start with Yordan Alvarez. This is the third year in a row. This is a guy that I always pick up right away because he's so good. He's got diamond hitting, so you know he rate. He also has a really nice left-handed swing, 78 contact versus right, 81 versus lefties, 92 and 90 power though for a day one goal. With his swing, I can always count on him hitting close to 400, hitting multiple home runs. The only knack on him is most of these cards are gonna have something wrong with them. That's why they're gold cards. That's why they're on a budget. Is his defense is terrible. He is a liability out there. Throw him into right field or something. Try to hide him as best as you possibly can. But in my opinion, the bat more than enough makes up for his lack of defense. If there was one card I would highly recommend from this list, Yordan Alvarez would be that guy. Now we gotta talk about the new Rangers shortstop, Corey Seager. They spent over $300 million on this guy because he's really good in real life, but he's also very good in this game. He also provides a little bit more versatility, being able to play short, second, or third base. Good left-handed swing, and he's very well balanced at the plate. 84, 83 contact, 73, 75 power. While those stats don't just jump off the page, with his swing, he plays a lot better than his stats show. Just a minimal amount of at-bats. He's 2 for 6 right now. He does have a home run. I really like using this card. Right now, he's in the starting lineup on my team. And I think he's a good option until you can get this face of the franchise Corey Seager. Because this face of the franchise Corey Seager for a day one card's ridiculous. Showing the bullpen some love, we gotta go with D-Will right here. For the bullpen, you want guys with high Ks per 9, really good hits per 9. D-Will has that 99 hits per 9, 101 Ks per 9 for a gold with 99 break. His pitch repertoire also makes no sense. In real life, he throws a fastball and a changeup. He just learned the cutter this year that he's thrown in spring training for the first time. But for some reason on his card every year, he gets a changeup, a fastball, a cutter, and a screwball. I've never seen Devin Williams throw a screwball. But this card's always a really nasty gold in the back of your bullpen. Having a 4 or 5 pick Mitch on a bullpen pitcher is huge. And then you mix in the break he has on everything, the 99 hits per 9, the 101 Ks per 9, he's gonna be really good. 99 pitch break on the circle change and the screwball. About 95 on both the fastball and the cutter. This guy's disgusting. Brandon Lau is somebody I never thought of a budget beast until this year, but his card is really good. He has a little bit more versatility. It's a little bit weird. He can play second base as a primary, and then he can play left and right field. As you've seen from the 3 previous position players I've shown, I'm really big on nice left-handed swings. Brandon Lau has that, and on top of that, 94 and 88 power. There's not many second basemen that are gonna match him in the power department. And then let's talk about a few cards that graduated on the Yankees. Joey Gallo has always been a budget beast, but I think he's retired from that realm, man. This Joey Gallo is just not good. He's always had the big time power. He does on this card too, 97 and 103. But man, the PCI is just gonna be too small. 37 and 43 contact, 22 vision. And then the fielding's really good, but I just don't think this card's good enough to be considered a budget beast anymore. Same with Aroldis Chapman. He's always been a budget beast, but that's because he had outlier. This guy does not have outlier, even though he basically invented the quirk. His velocity has dipped the past few years, so that's probably why. And he also doesn't throw a changeup anymore, so I really don't like this Chapman as much as previous years. Now getting into some cards that actually are budget beast, I'm gonna go with Giancarlo Stanton. It's hit or miss for people if they like hitting with tall guys or not. Stanton's a big dude. He's 6'6", so the strike zone's gonna be pretty big. But man, if you can figure out how to hit with some of these bigger guys and get your PCI to where you need to be, you're talking about a god tier first day player. Diamond hitting, 74, 82 contact, 94 and 99 power. He's not very good defensively, but I think 60 is enough to at least he's not an insane liability out there. But I'm telling you, if you can figure out his swing, this is a middle of the lineup bat right here. First starting pitcher on the list is Logan Webb of the Giants. With my pitchers, I like guys that can throw hard or have outlier. Logan Webb's neither of those things, so he defies the odds, but with his pitch mix, you can do really good things with tunneling pitches, getting people guessing, kind of getting people way out front, and that's where he's going to be successful. 99 break on his pitches, but he has a sinker, slider, changeup, fastball, and a cutter. A cutter-sinker combo is disgusting. Fastball changeup is always good. Then he has something you can just bury in the dirt with the slider. I really like the pitch repertoire on this card. I actually have his 90 overall card. Obviously, he's going to play a lot better. I think Logan Webb's a really good card. Let's get away from the golds for a second. Talk about Aaron Loop now on the Angels. If you played MLB The Show 21 at the end of last year, you know that his 97 overall finest card was disgusting. He does not throw hard at all, but he's got a very funky left-handed delivery. You can never have enough lefties in your bullpen. He has a sinker, a cutter, a circle change, and a slurve in his repertoire. And his stats overall for a silver are not bad. 77 hits per nine is going to get the job done for the most part. With his funky windup and the pitch mix, he's going to be really hard to time up. And then we're going to go to somebody the complete opposite of him, and that's Emmanuel Clase. You want guys that can throw hard, Emmanuel Clase is the guy. He has an outlier on his cutter. So you're going to have a 102 mile per hour cutter just coming right at you. This guy's disgusting. Cutter, slider, fastball. He doesn't have a great pitch repertoire, but with the outlier cutter, he's going to be really effective, especially at the beginning of the year. I feel like some of these prospect cards are not getting talked about enough. Eury Perez is one of them. He's one of the top prospects in the Marlins system, really came up last year, and he's got solid stats. 85 hits per nine, 82 Ks per nine, 90 velo. It's nothing amazing, but he's got a good pitch mix, sinker, changeup, slurve, fastball. I'm really big on slurve pitchers. Slurves are always so hard to hit for whatever reason, and on top of that, you're throwing a sinker in that mix. Only thing that can make this card better is if he had outlier, which would just make him OP, and if he had a cutter. But I think for being able to get this card for a little over 2.5K, he's 100% worth it. Pains me to put a Cardinal on this list, but I gotta go with Joshua Baez right here. He's above average at just about everything. The only knack on this card is his contact versus righty is only 60, but he's got 76 versus left-handed pitching, 82 and 92 power. He kills lefties, and he looks like a decent right fielder. 77 fielding with 87 arm, so he's got a really good arm out in right field. The only knock on him is the speed, but you're putting him in a right field that shouldn't come into play too much. I have never used a Joshua Baez card in my life, so I don't know how the swing exactly plays out, but if I'm just looking at the stats, I think this card's really good. Moving on to another Baez, we gotta talk about Javi, because for whatever reason, they made him really good actually. The contact should be a lot lower. This guy strikes out 1 every 3 at-bats. 65 and 79 contact isn't bad. 75 and 87 powers, solid. 84 fielding, 93 arm, and he's very versatile. Can play short, second, third, or center field. 78 speed's decent too. He's not excelling at anything besides defense, but he's about average to slightly above average in power department versus everything. This is one of the better day one Javi cards we've had in the past few years. Even day one, there's so many options you can put at first base, but if you still need a first baseman, consider picking up Pete Alonso. His swing is butter for a righty. Generally, it's left-handed hitters who have the better swings, but for a righty, Pete Alonso is really good. It helps that he has 90 power versus righties and 112 versus left-handed pitching. In terms of hitting, he is a better version of what Joey Gallo was. With the big-time power, not the best contact, but his vision's a little bit higher, making the PCI bigger, easier to hit. But he is only limited to first base, which is kind of a downside. But at the very least, if you already have somebody there, you can use him as a good bench back because this guy rakes. And then we have another Cardinal here with Tyler O'Neill, who really took off last year. Hitting wise, they only gave him silver, but it's still not bad. 6'4", 65 contact, 86 power versus righties is really good, 78 versus lefties is pretty solid. Then he's got diamond defense, 85 fielding with 80 arm. He can play all over the outfield, and he has 95 speed. So if you're talking about a guy that does everything at least average, Tyler O'Neill's one of them. He's elite in the power department, really good fielding, elite of elite speed. The only downside on this card is his contact and his vision is very low, but he's also very cheap at 2.5K, and if he has another year like he did last year, he will go diamond at some point. So it may not be a bad card to invest in either. Blake Trinan is 100% somebody I recommend to put into your bullpen. A 101 hits per nine. The Ks per nine is very low, but he has a sinker, slider, cutter, and a fastball. The sinker cutter combo is always elite. You also have a wipeout pitch with the slider, and what makes him so good is the sinker has outlier on it. It's only 2.6K too, which I feel is a steal. Last card on the list is a Marlin pitcher, and it's Sandy Alcantara. Nothing of his stats really sticks out besides the 99 velo. He's got a great 5-pitch mix with the sinker, slider, circle change, fastball, and curveball, and he's a starting pitcher who has outlier. He has an outlier on the sinker. Sinkers aren't as good as they were last year, I mean, shit, day one, you got a sinker coming at you 100 miles per hour. It's gonna be really hard to hit. There you go, boys. Lots of day one options that you can get to add to your team as budget bees, and a lot of these cards were under 3K. So if you pre-ordered the game and you got your 15 to 25K in stubs, you can still make a pretty solid team that will compete with others. Let me know what you think of this list down in the comment section below. Let me know if you think I missed somebody. Is there anybody that you're just absolutely dotting people up or hitting really well with? Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.